What's up, y'all? What's poppin'? This D. About to react to this vid by Emmanuel Acho. This is Mental Health Doesn't Discriminate with Lil Wayne. Okay, so he's gonna get real personal and talk about his mental health issues. This should be an interesting video. He talks about wanting to off himself, and he attempted to off himself actually, so trigger warning. And some other stuff. So yeah, we're gonna get the inside, details about this because I definitely have already assumed that he was struggling with his mental, based on things that I've seen and heard over the years. So we're gonna hear it straight from him. But yeah, this is definitely a thing with entertainers. Most of them struggle with their mental health. It is definitely very common, especially the bigger entertainers. I feel like the more famous and rich they get, the worse they have it. And people just don't understand. Like, people are so strange. Like, they'd be like, "Oh, you're so rich and you have everything you want. How could you possibly be sad or depressed?" I don't get it. Like, that is such a broke mindset to have. And I'm not talking about financial. It's that too. Let's not get fucked up. But you're just spiritually broke. In the words of Soul Illuminati, you spiritually broke if you really still believe in fucking 2021 that having money and access to women and all of that is gonna make you happy. Like, you just what? Or you're a child who doesn't understand how life works yet. But it's like, bro, this is not how it works. Niggas be depressed as fuck and billionaires. That's anyway. Let's hear his issues. Let's watch.
How I know I have mental health problems was I pulled the trigger.
Oh.
You actually pulled the trigger. Welcome to Uncomfortable Conversations with Emmanuel Acho. Now, I know most of y'all know this series is a dialogue. Longstanding Relationship. I know you watched the sports show, but then I got a text less than a week ago from you, and you like, "Hey, let me know when you have 5 minutes." I call you, and you said, "I wanted to talk." Why you want to be here today?
Figuring I can help, hoping I can help anyone else out there who's dealing with any mental health problems. I just, like you said earlier, about being vulnerable. But to me, I look at it about being brave and stepping up.
When did you check the temperature of yourself? When did you realize, you know what? I might have some mental health issues that I have to work with.
Oh, I realized that at a very young age.
When would you say they started? 13, 14?
Yeah, as a kid, around 10. Feeling like you, when I was told that I couldn't have what I wanted, what I dreamed of, and what I desired, and that was to rap. I was willing to die for it.
So many people, they don't know how to classify it. Mental health can play itself out, as you know better than I, as physical pain. It can play itself out as body aches. The world hasn't properly responded to mental health. So what was the moment that you realized, oh no, this is a mental health issue?
Once my thoughts got radical and got, to where you got to stop yourself and stop impulsing and say, "What did you just think again?" Or even if you cried yourself to sleep with that thought on your mind and wake up the next day and be like, "I cannot believe I was thinking like that."
Thoughts like what?
Thoughts like killing yourself.
You thought about killing yourself?
But actually, when I was 12 years old, the school year was kind of ending. So what the school was doing was they was giving us half days on a Thursday and a Friday. It may have been on Wednesday as well, but what I would do was just tell my mom that I only had a half a day on one of those days. So therefore I stayed out the rest of the whole day, just like it was a full day. She found out. And so when I got home, on that thing, it was that Friday, whatever, I got home, got a phone call from my aunt, was like, she found out, boy, you about to get your ass kicked, all that rapping and all that, she about to take that rap photo, she about to throw that shit away, and I was like, wow, so all that had built up to me, so that was a build up. I just listened to my aunt, like, I hate, because she was, she was, "Boy, you about to get your ass," when she get home, your mama takes, and she actually said, she was like, she's taking off, hung up the phone, thoughts everywhere, thoughts everywhere. Main thought was, I'm gonna show you.
What were you gonna show her?
So, I picked up the phone, I called the police. Yes, I knew where she kept her gun. And it was in her bedroom. And so I went in the bedroom, grabbed the gun.
Because you were about to get your ass
I already made
that's
the phone call. Looked in the mirror, did like that. Of course, it was like, oh, I got a little too scared. That was my head, like, nah. But then I said, fuck it. Biggie was on. I'm looking in the mirror, so you could look through the mirror, and the television was behind me. So I was watching the video through the mirror. One More Chance was on, and I think Biggie was already gone or something. So I was just looking, like, you know what? Start thinking I had to get myself mad and notice that I didn't have to. That's what scared me. How I know I had mental health problems was I pulled the trigger.
You actually pulled the trigger?
Yeah, I pulled the trigger.
Where'd you shoot?
In my chest. Didn't feel the thing from my heart, and didn't feel the thing though. So I wasn't going through any pain. Yeah, it was a shock. I woke up to the police knocking, and I was like, that's what woke me up. Mind you, the walls, the ceilings, and the walls were white like this. So when you're arm on my back, when you're looking up, my eyes probably were open the whole time. I didn't know. I probably had to click and click. But as a kid, all you remember is you see when you die, you're gonna see the white, and you're gonna have the white goes. I swear to God, I did. And so then that's when with that knocking woke me up out of that. The knocking, they kept knocking, but then they stopped. And once they stopped knocking, I said, okay, they must have left. It took too long. It took too long for it meaning death. It took too long. I was still just laying there. I didn't feel a thing. I said, shit, I said, I'm here for a reason. Had on like my little school shirt, so therefore it was cotton, we had wood floors. So I'm saying that to say because of the blood was pouring out of my chest so much that it made it easy for me to slide with my shirt in the wood across the floor. I made it all the way there. Only energy I had left was to kick the door. Kick the door, and I start hearing them go crazy. Like, someone's in there, someone's in there. So when they start knocking the door, though, I'm right under the door. I'm like, well, shit, they gonna kill me with the door. And so when they knocked the door, that's when I found out, my first time I found out what off the hinges or hinges is, but they knocked it off the hinges. And so boom, and they picked it up. They saw me, they as in the cops, they saw me and just jumped clean over me and went through the house talking about, I found the drugs, I found the gun, I found the gun. So that's how I'm doing all that. And so it took a guy named Uncle Bob. And he ran up there. When he got to the top of the step and saw me there, he refused to even step over me. One of them yelled like, I got the drugs. And that's when he went crazy. He was like, I don't give a fuck about no drugs. Like, do you not see the baby on the ground? And funny that I kept trying, I was spitting all in his face, blood, everything. All I was trying to tell him, I'm not a baby. And he kept, do you not see the fucking baby on the ground with this hole in his chest? Just screaming at him, and it was like, I guess I didn't know he was, so he must have been a sheriff, boss. They all came out the other room, like, oh, sorry, boss, we called the ambulance. He's like, I don't give a fuck, do you, like, so you call like one of them names, last name. Your car now. Pick me up, bought me, and he just kept telling me some shit like, you're not gonna die on me, you're not gonna die on me the whole time. The whole time, I am trying to tell him I'm a baby. That's why I told him for 30 minutes straight. And so he got me to the hospital. He brought me there. He never even checked it. He just left me, made sure I was good. I met him years later, but he was like, I just wanted to say, I'm happy to see that I saved a life that mattered.
What would you say kept you alive that day, in that moment?
God, plain and simple.
Break this down for me, because I've never and I couldn't walk a step, let alone a mile in your shoes. Why did you feel the need to be so extreme? For those that are battling mental health issues, it appears that you trying to take your life was really just a cry for help. Mm-hmm. Could you not use your words? Were you tired of using your words? Were your words not going to get the point across?
The words weren't even be able to be said or able to be spoken. You know, my mom, the way she was then, you don't speak in that lady. You don't speak about, you don't tell her your opinion. What? I wish. I'm from one of them families where, your mama kick your ass and straight up, and you don't talk back, and you feel what I feel, and none of that didn't go. Yeah, and also I had no father. My father wasn't around, so my mom definitely felt that she had to wear the pants, and she had to be the dad and the mom, so she was a little extra on everything. She had to just to make sure she got up on the cross and make sure I ain't try to run over her. And so, again, words that was, again, the loneliness. So when you have no one to vent to, no one to get this out to, you can't bring it to your friends at school. You're still trying to be cool to them. You're not trying to let them know that I got something going on at home.
That's
so what I never
true.
said was, so the mom that I knew before that day on my life and everyone's life, and you have never met or seen or heard that lady again in my life. So I didn't die that day, but somebody was gone from, she's never been that way. So as far as the parents out there, obviously that was an eye-opener for her. And what she decided to do was, I let my flower grow.
Got you. So that incident changed
everything. Changed life for her, I, and our whole family.
Man, well, I appreciate, one, the vulnerability, bro. I appreciate the bravery. I appreciate the transparency. I appreciate the honesty, because I can't imagine how hard that must have been. Let's transition down the timeline of your life, because that was 12. By 18, 19, 20, 21, you were now a mega star. That's when your boy fell in love with your work.
Appreciate that.
As you got more popular, as you got more love, did the mental health issues go away?
They didn't go away, but they came in a different, obviously they come in a different way because of the maturity. So of course they're gonna hit different, they're gonna actually hit harder.
How so? Because what can truly hit harder than an individual wanting to take their life?
That thought never came. Other than that, man, just being alone all the time. You know, my grandmother raised me, rest in peace, Mercedes Carter. She raised me, so with that said, I always had time to myself. I'm always in the back room somewhere alone with myself, and too much time to think and too much time to compare.
How could you be that popular and still feel alone?
When I say alone, I mean, again, when those doors close. When the lights cut, after the thank you, you got thank the homies, then you get to the bus, and then you find y'all boys good, whatever, and then the doors close. And there's nobody that no one know you. And then again, you create these things, and here again, it's mental health. Because none of these perspectives, or none of these opinions, or decisions, or things you're thinking, or thoughts may be true at all. It's what you create in here because of the situation.
That's true.
And again, you start to think, well, do anyone actually care? Will it matter when it's all over? Will I matter? And that's always the question. Well, will you matter when it's all over? Will you matter? Not the things you've done, the things you've done for everyone else, but will you actually matter to them, but most of all to you?
At the height of you being a star, what was the lowest point of your career?
Not being able, that's a good question. When I was going through this situation with my record label, and it wouldn't allow me to put an album out or put any music out. So when you compare that to whatever my mental health problem was back then, it was because I wasn't being allowed to be productive and be creative and to feel that I would love to do so.
So as an adult, the lowest point of your career was your label not letting you put music out. How bad did that hurt you? What did that do to you mentally?
My reaction or my actions that I wanted to take was quit. I wanted to retire.
Now, when you were 12, the thought of not being able to do music led to self-harm. But now, when you were closer to what would have been 32, you had a healthier response,
of course,
to not being able to do music.
Yeah.
How or why were you able to have a healthier response?
I know that this is a dream again. I could never be too greedy. So I started looking at it that way, like, you know what, this is your sign, this is all it is. It's your sign saying that you've done enough, you've been blessed, over-blessed, and so, you know what I mean, that's it.
You walked in from the moment we dapped each other up, you were in a good mood. Where are you now with your mental health? Are you happy with where you are now?
Actually, I'm so happy.
Good.
Thank God. And it's only simply because of being able to do what I love. And that's be productive and put some music out and help some people put music out and help people along the way. That's what I love. That's who I am. I guess simple, cliche. That's who I was born to be.
Wow, this was really interesting. I've never seen this side of him before. So it was really cool to see him be vulnerable and really open up and share his story. I had no idea he shot himself. Like, I feel like that's something I should have heard in his music or something. Maybe he has mentioned it before, but I just, didn't know that song or didn't pay attention. But that is so wild. And I know I was really silent throughout this whole reaction. I probably really didn't say anything at all. But it's because I was actually paying attention. This is how I watch shit, honestly, on my own. Even when I'm with other people, I am dead silent when I'm watching stuff. Like, I don't like to talk. I want to pay attention. So whenever you see reactions that I put up and I'm running my mouth, talking shit, and cracking jokes, like, I'm not really paying attention to what I'm watching at all. I don't care about what I'm watching, so I'm really just trying to entertain y'all and myself too, honestly, by making little comments and saying shit. But when I'm actually interested in something I'm watching, like, I'm not going to talk that much. But, yeah, it's just crazy that he shot himself because he was about to get a whooping. That just goes to show that as kids especially, like, we really blow things out of proportion. Like, things we think are the worst thing in the world, they be super small. That just makes me think of things that devastated me when I was a kid, and I look back now like, that was so dumb. Like, why was I so oppressed about that? But I know in his situation as well, like, he was already struggling with his mental health overall, so that just probably just sent him over the edge. But yeah, that's just so wild that he experienced all of that at a young age. This was a deep video. Y'all let me know what y'all thought though, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.